Okay.
Done? Should start that? Start? Okay. That day you have made this chart, right? So now we'll start with the whatever things, and then we will see like what are the exogenic process. Okay, now here in this exogenic process, we will also gonna talk about these erosional and depositional features. Okay, so this portion is like kind of most important when we talk about this chapter. Okay, this exogenic process. Fine. So inside this exogenic, the first one which you are having, that is like something called as weathering, right? You have something called as weathering. Now, when we talk about weathering, see, weathering means nothing but some kind of erosion activity which happens in the rocks. Okay, something which.
दूसरा पोर्ट नहीं है
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Speak.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, okay. In weathering, it is nothing but a process through which the rocks, like big rocks, they will be changing themselves or converting themselves into a smaller granules. Now, how they are going to change? By breaking down, right? Now this breaking process, it will happen due to some phenomena or due to some features. Like phenomena like maybe there is some rain effect due to the rain, maybe there is some effect due to the air, maybe there is some effect due to the temperature, if there is a variation in the temperature, right? So this is what we are going to see. Have you seen this kind of structure? So this is what exfoliation is all about. Now you can see the big rocks here, and slowly due to this weathering process, this rock will be converted itself into a smaller granules. Now what you have to study here, what are the things or what are the features which are behind them to converting this as this form. Okay, so now here you have something called as physical weathering, you have chemical weathering, you have biological weathering. When we talk about the physical weathering, it is due to some climatic change. Like we have, suppose if this is a rock, right? Now suppose if there is a continuously water is falling or rain is happening. Now what will happen in the gaps of this rock? The water will percolate inside this rock, and when the water will percolate, suppose if the temperature get reduced, so this water will be in a frozen state, or it will convert itself into a ice kind of sheet, right? And the basic phenomena, whenever the water converts in ice, what happens to the density of that ice? It increases, right? So now suppose if there is a gap and here there is a water and it went inside, now it got frozen. So the density of that place, that rock, it will get increased, and due to this increase, what will happen to the structure of this rock? It will try to break, right? It will try to break, or there will be a more gap between the rocks, or slowly like this, the continuous process will be going on, and this will be changed and this will be broken from the parent rock. Okay, so the smaller granules will be broken from the parent rock. So this is like you have something called as physical weathering, right? When we talk about the chemical weathering, so due to some chemical process, right? Now suppose when there are some substance present in the air and water, right? Suppose if oxygen, due to the presence of oxygen, now you have seen something called as rusting, right? So rusting is what? Chemical process, right? So what happened here? Now suppose if there is something called as iron oxide is present inside this rocks. Okay, whenever it will come into contact with the water, so this process will take place. Now when this rusting is taking place, so this rock again it will try to like break down from the parent rock. So this is what the basic exfoliation which happens. Now biological features, suppose human beings, they are breaking the plants, or suppose if they are breaking these big stones, so that will be through the biological features. And sometimes there will be a growth of plants in these rocks. So whenever there is a huge trees are grown in these rocks, so that time also these rocks, they will broke down, and they will be breaking these rocks in a like big chunks, and slowly they will be converting themselves into this exfoliation method. Okay, so this is what it is. Fine. This is what I was telling about frost wedging. Now, can you see here? There is a rock, right? Now, when this water is percolating inside this rock, and whenever it is freezing, so it is expanding itself, and this gap between these two rocks, it is getting more. So when it is getting more, slowly what will happen? This rock, this big chunk of rock, it will be divided into two parts. So it will be having a smaller, it will be dividing itself into a smaller granules. Now here, can you see this biological weathering? Right? Now there is a rock. Now these trees, these big trees are grown here. So whenever these big trees are grown here, what will happen to this rock? This will be again, it will get divided into a smaller granule. So this is what your biological weathering. Fine. So this is what about weathering. Just write down 2-3 points about the weathering. Then we will just move forward. Okay. First, right, I think you have made that chart, right, where it is like 3 types of weathering you have, right? So the first one, just write down physical weathering. First one is physical weathering, and inside physical weathering you have, again there is some division. First is your thermal weathering due to heat, thermal weathering. Then frost wedging, this is your frost wedging. Then exfoliation. Fine. So first is your thermal weathering, is after that you have frost wedging, then you have exfoliation. Thermal weathering, now suppose if there is a rock, continuously due to the heat of the sun, what will happen? The skin of the rock, the upper layer of the rock, it will be continuously degrading. So that will be due to the thermal, due to the presence of the heat, or due to the heat process, that will be getting divided. Frost wedging due to this water or this snow, right? Then the third one, which is having exfoliation. Exfoliation means layer by layer, when the rock is like degrading itself, that is called as your exfoliation. Fine. So just can you just write one point fast? Thermal weathering, it happens in arid and semi-arid areas. It happens in fall from that, right? So that is your thermal. Next, write down about your frost wedging. All liquids contract when they freeze. All liquid contract when they freeze and takes up more space and takes up more space when water enters into the crack of rock. And freezes, the pressure exerted on the rock, the pressure exerted on the rock is the pressure exerted on the rock is capable enough to break the rock, is capable enough to break the rock. Third is exfoliation. Exfoliation. When the surface of rock, when the surface of rock heat or cool continuously, the outer layer peel off from the main rock. It is also called as onion weathering. It is also called as onion weathering. Onion. Plaj khaye? Onion you have? It's called as onion. Okay, fine. Huh. Okay. So it's a onion weathering. Okay, fine. So this is what about the physical weathering. Next you have something called as chemical weathering. Just write down fast. Chemical weathering. Chemical weathering when there is some chemical properties are involved in the breaking of the rock. So the first one, write down. Solution. In solution, just write down one line. Some soluble minerals in the rock, get dissolved when water come into contact with the rock. Water come into contact with the rock. Next, oxidation. When water combines with oxygen and iron, it weakens the rock. Okay, there are other three, just you can write down the name. Hydrolysis, carbonation. Next one is carbonation, when carbon dioxide came into contact. Then hydration. like you have some rocks like gypsum, clay, all these will be converted when there is a chemical change in the rock. Next you have biological change or biological weathering. It is alteration of rock. It is alteration of rock by the action of plants. Alteration of rock by the action of plants, animals and human being. Okay, can anyone tell me where rabbits they live? ये क्या होता है? You are behaving like rabbit? Huh? Burrows. Okay. So they are also somewhere responsible for this breaking of rock or some disintegration of this soil. Okay. Like you have these mouses are there, then rabbits are there, then snakes are there. So they will. So they all are responsible for the biological weathering. Human beings also, when they cut this plantation and all, right? Then human beings, they don't make burrows, okay? But they cut the plantation and all, okay? So that is the responsible. They are also responsible. Then sometimes when these large trees are grown in the rocks and all, so they also are responsible for the biological weathering. Okay, fine. So this is what about the weathering? Weathering is just simple phenomena. It is responsible when the big chunks of rocks, they are broken into a smaller pieces, and you have three ways: physical, chemical and biological. Inside physical you have three, right? Inside chemical you have different, like hydrolysis is there, right? Yes, hydrolysis is there, carbonation is there, oxidation is there, all these things are there, right? So whenever these content, they mix with the water, then they break the rocks, right? Then the last one, biological, which is due to the human activities, animal activities as well as plants, right? So this is what about your weathering. Now this is one way of breaking of rocks. Okay, this is one way of breaking of rocks. Now there is another way also of breaking these rocks, and that is called as mass wasting. Okay, that is called as mass wasting. You might have heard in the hilly areas there is a big slump of the rocks, they will be falling down, right? Or when there is a landslides, right? When there is a landslide, so what happened in landslide? A big chunk of rock, then mud, everything, it will come together, it will fall. Okay, so now here in the mass weathering, the gravity plays a important role, because due to the gravitational force, all the things, they will try to come down, right? So that comes under your mass weathering, and inside the mass weathering also you have different features. Sometimes it will be a big chunk of rock, sometimes there will be a smaller granules should be falling, right? So these are some mass weathering things. Now can you see here? Okay, see different things. Now this is rock slide, that means the big chunk of rock, it will be falling here, and then here also it will be getting accumulated or collected. Then suppose if there is a more amount of deforestation, so when there is no this vegetation is not there, what will happen to this this soil? It will start flowing down. So this is called as debris flow whenever there is a deforestation activities. Now whenever there is a eruption of the volcano, right? In volcanoes we have studied, right? So magma will be coming out, or the lava will be coming out. Slowly this lava will be solidifying, and with the solidification of this lava, there will be the formation, some kind of formation of rocks and this material. Okay, then here you sometimes the big chunk of the layer of the earth, they will be also falling. This is called as slumping. Okay, this is called as slumping. Then you have solifluction. Here also the layer by layer. Now in the hilly regions, these two are very common. Okay, these two are very common in the hilly region. Now this all is related to the gravitational force. Whenever there is a gravitational pull, they will be always trying to come down, and in this process there will be some formation and there will be some destruction. Recently we have seen in Himachal Pradesh, right? So many landslides were there, right? So somewhere they are doing destruction, but at the same time they are forming some kind of this activities. Okay, so this is what you have, this mass weathering. Okay, now see, have you seen in the roads there will be big rocks will be falling in, generally it happens in the hilly region. If you see the southern part of the India, it is not more prone to these things. Okay, but then if you see the northern India like Himalayan region, so that is more prone to this kind of things. Okay, so that you have to remember. Now here you can see debris flow, right? So this is what the debris, big chunk of soil, it will be falling. Okay, it will be falling towards the ground. So this is also a kind of formation of the land. Now here you have some like this is called a solifluction, then earth flow, then mud flow is there, rock fall is there, debris flow is there, soil creep is there, slump is there, debris slide is there. These all are the mass movement. That means suddenly there will be a sudden movement of a big chunk of soil, rocks and everything. Okay, so this is your mass movement. Understood here? Till here? Fine. So just write down fast. Okay, now here for your examination these terms are important. Okay, because in your examination they will be not, suppose if they ask mass movement is related to, or the which among the followings are related to the mass movement, so they can give you four options and then you have to understand, okay, which is that correct option. Okay, so this is how it will be asked in your examination. Though this time they didn't ask about this second chapter, they didn't ask like exogenic endogenic forces, but generally there will be questions from this two chapters, which endogenic and exogenic, right? So first chapter there were questions, right, related to Mercury, Venus and all. Questions were there?
Yes, ma'am.
It was there, right? So in geography, the first chapter, that is universe and earth, that will be there will be some questions related to planets and all. But here from the second chapter, generally they will be asking endogenic, earthquake, volcanoes, and exogenic, these kind of activities which will be happening, and they'll be giving you as these important terms. Okay, fine. So just write down fast. Just one line you have to write down. Okay, so the first one you have rockfall. First one you have rockfall. Okay, when a piece of rock break from a cliff. Cliff means what? The edge of the mountain. Okay, when a piece of rock break from the cliff, it generally occurs due to frost wedging. It generally occurs due to frost wedging. Rock slide. Next one, rock slide. Presence of water increases slippage of rocks. Next, landslide. When a large piece of rock breaks off and slides downhill. Slides down from hill. Next, slump. Great mass of bedrock. Great mass of bedrock moves downward by rotational slip. Next, debris slide. debris slide. It is more extensive. It is more extensive and occurs on large scale than slump but little water is involved. Next, debris flow. It includes earth flow, mud flow, and debris avalanches. Okay. Next one, mud flow. It is a liquid mass of soil. Rock debris and water that moves quickly through a well-defined channel. Then you have debris avalanche. It is the deadliest type of debris flow. It is a churning mass of rock debris. It is deadliest form of debris flow. It is churning mass of rock debris. And the last one, creep, C-R-E-E-P, creep. It is a slow and gradual movement. Of soil downhill.
It is slow
And gradual movement of movement of soil downhill. Fine. So this is all about the mass movement and vector. Now the next which you are having, that is about you have some agent. Okay, you have some agent which are responsible for the deposition and erosion. Okay, there are two things. One is called as erosional feature, another is called as depositional feature, right? So there are some agent which are related to this depositional and erosional feature. Now in this agent, when you have wherever you have made a chart, you can see there are some agent like river you have, right? Glaciers you have, waves you have,
Water,
right?
winds.
Winds you have, water you have, right? So these are the some agents which will work towards the depositional and this the erosional features. Okay, so can you see this image? What is this? God, right? This is called as God. Now can anyone tell me like how it has been formed?
To flow of water.
Flow of water. Now think that whether this rock was like this, has like always it was like this, or it has been made through this water. Made through this water, right? If you see, when we talk about the rivers, right? So there are two types of river. One type of river they are called as a young rivers, right? Young rivers. And one type of rivers they are called as a old rivers. So in India, do we have some old rivers?
Yes.
Which is the oldest river in India? Narmada. say that Narmada is the oldest river?
It's like
How we say that Narmada is the oldest river? And which is the youngest river?
Ganga.
Ganga is the youngest river, right? Or Indus, you can say, is the youngest river. How we can differentiate this between this old river and youngest river? You know that these are the old river. Now it is like a parrot. You have Magata, right? Ganga is the newly formed river, and Narmada is the oldest river. But how it is old and how it is? What is the phenomena behind this? Why it is called as oldest river and why it is called as the youngest river? Origin? Okay. Can you explain that? Like, can you just give me like how origin will be deciding?
वो पात में आते हैं ना,
पात में
मतलब वो
हाँ,
चट्टान के बीच में।
चट्टान के बीच में।
Youngest river मतलब ने उतना path find नहीं किया। Oldest है same.
Ajay, tell me which will be the fast flowing river, youngest or oldest?
Youngest will be
Youngest will be very fast flowing. Okay, which will river have more water, youngest or oldest? Youngest river. Okay, which river will flow through these gorges like this? Oldest, right? If you see youngest river, that will be flowing through the different valleys, right? But it will be not having such a deep gorges, right? So this is one thing. Okay, have you seen this image? Have you seen this place first of all? Anyone? No? Anyone from Andhra? Okay, so proud Andhra people, just tell me where it is. Though it is written down. Proud Andhra people. Where it is? Have you seen this kind of feature? So you have missed to visit a place which is the most beautiful, which is one of the most beautiful place in India. It is just I think 150 kilometer from Bangalore. Okay, this when you go there, you can see this exactly same kind of picture. Okay, same kind of view. Okay, same kind of view will be visible if you go there. Okay, and it's such a beautiful view that even you can't imagine. Till the time you won't go there, you cannot imagine this place. Okay, so now can you see the large landmass on the both the side of the river? Now can you see this huge river in between? So this landmass or whatever the structure you can see here, it is not due to some other feature. It is due to this river. This all has been formed due to this river. And even if like mechanically if we try to cut the rocks in this way, we can never do that. What the natural process through this river has been done. Okay, so this is what the erosional features. These are the erosional features of the river when we talk about the river, right? Now see, have you seen the rivers flowing in the valleys? Right? So generally which type of rivers will flow in these valleys? Young rivers. Okay, young rivers. And this is like interlocking kind of the structure will be there. Okay, that we will see what are the features they are making. Just see these images. Okay, now this kind of structure have you seen near the rivers? Like this is called as fans. Have you seen the Chinese fan? How it look like? Okay, so this structure, this will be always near to the bedside of the river. So these are the fans and they are also called as alluvial fans. Generally if you visit to the rivers like we have Ganga, then Yamuna, like northern rivers where you have a presence of alluvial soil. So there this kind of formation will be there, and sometimes there will be formation of step kind of structure is there. Whenever there will be the flood in the river, they will reach to a huge higher level, right? And whenever there will be the water will recede, so that time they will make a structure like step kind of structure. So these are the some features which are created by the rivers. Okay, so this is what it is. Now have you heard something about Oxbow Lake? Have you heard something about meanders? Okay, so what is the exactly meaning of meander? Or what is the meaning, general meaning of meandering? What is the meaning of, suppose if yesterday only you have given exam, right? And if there is a word, some line and there is word and which you have to tell the synonyms of that word. And the word is meandering. So what will be the meaning of that? Anyone? अरे इतना सन्नाटा क्यों? Huh. As though no one is present in the class.
Don't know, ma'am.
Don't know?
Ma'am.
Huh.
नहीं.
Any guess? Any guess? Okay, you can.
Bullshit.
Huh?
Bullshit.
Bowl shape. Okay. Or which?
C kind of shape.
C.
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 हाँ.
C kind of.
हाँ.
अच्छा C
मतलब
kind
main
of.
river से खुलता है ma'am, like different paths से ऐसा.
Huh. Okay, tell me how the river flows. In a straight path or
Curve.
in a curve. So that curvy path is called as meandering. Okay, so remember, whenever the river flows, it will never flow like this. It will always having this kind of shape, right? So these curves are called as a meander. Okay, these curves are the person who will never walk in a straight path. They will be like called as a meanders, or the thing which will never go in a single like a straight path. So that is called as meandering. So the river, it will be continuously, it will be meandering, and these curves of the river, they are called as meanders. Now while making these meanders, this river will have both the features. Okay, both erosional as well as depositional. Now erosional feature, from one side it will try to erode the soil. Erosional means what?
You can't carry it.
To carry something, right? And depositional means what? Dumping something, right? Or something which is dumping. Okay. So this meander is a feature where the river will make both the features, both the things will be there, both depositional as well as erosional. Now depositional, it will start depositing some soil kind of things here. Now when this river again, it will change its course, so this area will be left behind. And can you see, this is like an oxbow?
Yes.
Have you seen the hump on the ox?
Yes.
देखे ऐसे एक hump होता है ना ox के ऊपर.
Yes. गंदा.
Okay, so this is called as oxbow. Okay, this is called as oxbow, and with this oxbow only we have this name which is called as Oxbow Lake. So there will be a formation of Oxbow Lake. So this everything, whatever you have seen from the previous this thing, this is all about the journey of a river, both the depositional and erosional feature. Next, okay, have you heard something about the delta?
Yes.
What is delta? Sundarban Delta. Okay. Have you heard something called as estuaries? Have you heard something called as estuaries? नहीं? अच्छा, anyone? You are in 10th, 9th. What's the standard? 10th, 9th, 10th. 10th. You have social science? Social science है? कौन से चैप्टर है? Geography है? कौन सा चैप्टर है geography में? नहीं, बाकी इनसे तो मुझे उम्मीद नहीं है. I don't have any expectation from this crowd. हाँ. Because they are super duper seniors. Okay, fine. So at least if you don't know the subject, if you don't know the chapter, like inside what it is there, at least know your chapters. Okay, that is the basic requirement. Fine. Okay. You have physical features chapter. What physical features of what? India? Physical features of India. Okay, whenever we will study about India, so there also we will come to know what is delta and estuaries. Okay, there is two things. Okay, when we talk about the depositional feature of the river, we have two things. One is estuary, another is delta. Now both are the mouth of the river. Okay, this delta and all, it is called as mouth of the river, where the river will carry everything, all the load it will carry, and it will deposit on its mouth. Okay, it will deposit on its mouth. So one form of deposit happen in the estuaries, the river will be not able to carry as much as load as it carries to form a delta. That means here in delta also the river will meet the ocean, right? Ocean or sea, right? In estuary also the river will go and meet the ocean. But here the mouth of the river and the ocean water, it will be continuously coming together. That means the water. Have you heard something about lagoons?
Yes.
What is the meaning of lagoons? Delta में found होता है lagoons. Okay, what is lagoon? Acha, anyone from Kerala? Kerala? No. Acha, from Kerala and borders of Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. Borders of Kerala. Why Kerala is famous? Spices, what the history is related. Come back. Rainfall. The rainfall happens in Maharashtra. Greenery. And generally, if people they go to Kerala, what they do, what activities they do there? Fishing. मतलब मैं उत्तर प्रदेश से केरला फिशिंग करने जाऊँगी. Very good.
Right, no, boat ride.
हाँ. Boat rides, right? So that boat rides will they do on some rivers?
Yes. No, ma'am. Like chota.
Will they do on rivers or there's something else? Something. What is that? Something else. Huh? What is? That correct. That sea and correct. You are telling correct. But what it is called as? Backwater lakes. Okay. So generally in estuaries, this ocean water or the sea water, it will try to enter inside the mouth of this rivers. So if we have two coasts, right? Eastern coast and western coast. So whenever you see the rivers which are going in the western coast, they will be always forming estuaries. Those rivers which are going to the eastern coast, they will be forming something called as deltas. That's why here you will get to know about Sundarban Delta, then Kaveri River Delta. But here whenever there is some river, Narmada or Tapi, so they are making something called as estuary, because here there are some other phenomena also. Like here there is the coast. The coast is having a very narrow zone. So that are the other features. But remember one thing, estuaries are those areas where immediately the river will go and submerge into the ocean. But deltas, here the river will take so much of minerals and soil with itself, and it will deposit and it will form something, this kind of structure or something, some soil it will form. It will make some landform of kind of structure. So this is what about the delta. Now in delta also you have some different types delta. Bird food delta is there, right? It is kind of bird food. Then arcuate delta is there, right? These are the lagoons. Okay, these are the backwater or lagoons are there. Then because the river is meeting to the ocean, right? So these are the type of some deltas. Now this is what? This is depositional feature of river. This is a depositional feature of river. Fine. So okay, here you have one puzzle kind of. If you can fill all the things. Okay, this is first. This is second. This is third. This is fourth. This is 5, 6, and you have 7 and 8. Now you have to fill the 8 words.
8 mouth. 8 mouth, 7 lagoon.
8 is mouth. Okay, fine.
Second one is tributary.
एक करके 7.
Lagoon.
7th is lagoons. Lagoons are nothing but when a backwater is coming inside from the ocean and it is filling this area. Then
Sixth one is delta.
6th one is fifth one is oxbow lake.
Sixth one delta.
6th one delta. ये क्या था? Okay, this is oxbow lake. Okay, fine.
Source, ma'am. First source.
First is source. Remember this thing? This is called as source or origin of the river. Okay? Fine.
Tributary.
This is called as second one is
Tributary.
second one is tributary. Second one is true. Then what is third one?
Tributary.
Huh.
Second one is
Then what is fourth one?
Meander.
Okay, fourth one is meander. Okay, fine. Then okay, this is your tributary, and wherever two rivers are joining, this is called as confluence. Confluence. You have Prayags, right? Prayagraj. Have you heard about the place Prayagraj? You have different Prayag. When Ganga originates from different glaciers when it comes, like you have Vishnu Prayag, Dev Prayag, Nand Prayag, Kan Prayag. Like this, we have Panch Prayag. 5 Prayags are there. That we will study in Indian geography. But Prayag is nothing but a meeting point of two rivers. Okay, Prayagraj, because there Ganga and Yamuna, they meet. So that place is called as Prayagraj, right? So now this is confluence and this is something called as floodplain. So this is how the journey of river will be. It will start with the source. Okay, it will start with its source, or there will be something called as origin. It will have some tributaries. While following its path, it will meet some other smaller rivers. Now, if you know tributaries, you should also know what is called as distributaries. Okay, what is called as distributaries. So distributaries are those rivers which will be divided. When the main river will be divided into smaller parts, it is called as distributaries. Generally, it will be near to the mouth. Like we have Hooghly river. Hooghly river is there. Where it is?
Kolkata.
Kolkata. Right, very good. Okay, West Bengal we have Hooghly river. So it is a distributary. It is not a tributary. It is a distributary. When the Ganga comes and it when it goes to the Bangladesh, right? When Ganga goes to the Bangladesh, so again it is divided into a smaller rivers. So that will be called as distributaries. Then confluence, the meeting of two rivers. Meander, it is curve of the river, the bending of the river or the curves of the river. Oxbow lake, when these curves are detached from the main river, these are called as oxbow lake. Floodplains are the areas of the river, like how much broad that river can go. Lagoons are these areas, these small patches, or sometimes they will be filled with the backwater also, right? And this is mouth. Mouth can be a estuary or as well as it can be a delta. Fine. So this is understood till here? Fine. Okay. Now you have to write down, because whatever you have understood, it will not retain more than 5 minutes. So at least if it is there in your notebook, I can claim that yes, I have taught you. Fine. So write down about the river. First one, stages of the river. Stages of the river. First is upper stage. Okay, before writing, can anyone tell me what is water divide? Water divide? Anyone? Division of water? Anyone who has recently completed 9th except you? Okay, sir. Recently? 9th standard? No one? 3 years back? Okay, fine. So, when you study the 9th standard book, the first term itself is called as a water divide. Now, this water divide means, okay, can river Ganga, can it join Kaveri? Can river Ganga, can it join Kaveri river? Okay. Can river Brahmaputra, can it goes and join, will it go and join some other river like you have Narmada and Rapi? Why? Why it will not? Distance ज़्यादा है, but it is traveling 2,500 kilometer Indus River. Why it will not join? It cannot change its path. It's a river. It can change its path. Then
different states in
different states. The boundary है. For river also we have boundaries. When it can originate in China, then it can enter into India, then it can go to the Pakistan, then how it cannot cross the states? It can cross, right? Okay, so बीच में कुछ? हाँ, so बीच में जो है that is water divide. Okay, water divide is nothing but a natural barrier. Okay, there is something called as natural barrier which will not allow two rivers to meet, and that natural barrier can be mountain. It can be a plateau, or it can be some wide division, right? Like we have, suppose if we have India map, if you see the India map, so Delhi is the region which is situated on a higher
Higher.
plateau, right? It is situated in a Raisina Hills, right? Raisina Hills that we will study in the Indian geography, right? So, but that higher plateau, it is becoming as a barrier. It is working as a barrier, and it is not allowing two rivers to join together. So that division it is called as water divide. Remember that thing. Okay, fine. So the first stage, write down upper stage. It is called as youthful stage. It is called as youthful stage or mountain stage. Youthful stage or mountain stage. The speed of the stream is very high. The speed of stream is very high. The slopes are steep. The slopes are steep. And the most dominant erosional work will be done by the river. Valleys will be formed. And source is the place where river originate. And the mountains or plateaus which divides two river system it's called as water divide. Next stage, that is middle stage. It is mature stage of river. It creates vertical erosion. And lateral erosion. And it widens the valley. Wide. The volume of water increases here. And river is deep. Third one, lower stage. It is the final stage of the river. Here valley becomes flat. And called as penne plains. Pene. Penne pasta you have, right? In the same way, you have penne plains. And the main work of the river is deposition. And when main river splits into many small rivers, many small rivers, it is called as distributaries. It is called as distributaries. Okay, fine. So this is about the upper stage, middle stage and lower stage. Now there are two types of feature. One is erosional feature and depositional feature. So I'll tell you the erosional features which you have already seen, right? Then you have to write down just one line. Then we will talk about the depositional features. Okay, fine. So first one you have erosional features. And from here this chapter is very important. Remember this thing. These features will be asked in your examination.
Next down.
Okay.
Any notebook.
Erosional features. Inside erosional feature, first gorges. First is gorges. It is formed due to active. It is formed due to active down cutting. Due to active down cutting of valleys. These are deep river valley. These are deep river valley which has steep slopes. Deep river valley which has steep. Next you have canons. CANYONS, canons. Extended form of gorges. Extended form of gorges which represents deep narrow but long valleys. In that star mark and write down the Grand Canyon of Colorado River. The Grand Canyon of Colorado River in USA. Colorado River in USA is the largest canyon in the world. Is the largest canyon in the world. And star mark and another point write down the canyon of Gandikota. The canyon of Gandikota, here you can see that, on the Penna River. On the Penna River is called as Grand Canyon of India. Is called as Grand Canyon of India. Penna River is tributary of Penna River is tributary of Godavari. ठीक है, we'll do in Indian geography. Okay, fine. Next, write down V-shaped valley. V-shaped valley. The valleys made by the rivers. The valleys made by the rivers in the youthful stage. In the youthful stage. It is also called as V-shaped valley. It is also called as V-shaped valleys. Next one, rapids and RAPIDS, rapids and waterfall. rapids are stream sections with extremely strong currents and steps in their stream beds beds. Waterfall is a vertical drop in a stream bed. They are formed due to erosional features and series of waterfall is called as cascade. 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 Fine. So, which is the highest waterfall in India?
कर्नाटक में
You asked day before.
That's why I'm asking again. I'm checking your memory power. Okay. Huh?
कैसे कर्नाटक
Okay, ठीक है. कर्नाटका का है accepted. Which is that fall?
नहीं जो फॉल नहीं कैसे स्टार्ट होता
Joke fall I already gave it that day in option, but it was not correct. Purana. So what is that now?
तो ना कैसे स्टार्ट होता है
Okay, Kunchikal. Kunchikal is the highest waterfall. Which is the highest waterfall in world?
चाइना का एक
China. Huh?
Angel Falls.
Angel Falls. Correct.
चाइना में
China में नहीं है Angel Falls. ये South America. Angel Falls. Okay, fine. So here falls understood, right? You have seen falls. हो गए नक्कल तो देखा ही होगा. नहीं देखा? Have you seen some falls in your life or not? जब पहाड़ से. Okay, so falls you have seen, right? Rapids are when the water flow in a step by step. Okay, the river will when it is falling from the higher mountain to the lower region, but in a step by step form. I don't know whether you have seen when the water from top to bottom it falls in a like step kind of structure. So that is your rapids, and when directly it will fall from top to bottom, it is called as waterfall. Okay, right. Next write down plunge pool. Okay, plunge pool. Those who have seen waterfall, they would have seen that plunge pool also. Plunge. Plunge pool. Pool. Okay, it is a deep depression. Let's write down. It is a deep depression in a stream bed. At the base of waterfall. Okay, how many have actually like taken bath in the waterfall? अभी तो तुमने देखा नहीं था, तुमने नाम लिया. हाँ. How many of you have taken bath in waterfall? It's a great experience. You can visit some places during rainy season. So, okay. So whenever the water fall, it will fall from the top. The down you will see a pool kind of structure, right? Where the water will be getting stored, and then it will be continuously it will be flowing. So that is that area where the pool formation is there. That is called as plunge pool, and that is also formed due to the erosional activity of the river. Fine. So that you have to remember. Next, grooves. Groove. Grooves. Grooves. Okay. Long and narrow depression. At the base of long and narrow depression at the base of waterfall made by river runoff is called as groove. Okay, so groove is like after making a plunge pool, it will be continuously starting flowing down. So that down area, that down path of the river, it is called as grooves. And sometimes it will create a depression. Depression means a big block kind of, or the breaking of that rock. So that is your grooves. Okay, so that is what one. Interlocking spurs. This one. Interlocking spurs. Okay, it is a projecting ridge that extend alternatively from the opposite side of V-shaped valley. Right? Okay, next one, potholes. So potholes are not only in the road, they are also in river. Okay, so write down, then I'll explain you. The kettle-like small depression, in the rocky beds of the river, are called as potholes. Acha, how many of you have seen whirlpool? What is whirlpool? Don't tell me it is a fridge. And don't tell me it is a washing machine. What is whirlpool? Correct. Have you seen when the river is flowing, there will be this circle kind of structure, right? So this kind of structure will be formed, right? In that water, that is called as whirlpool. Okay. Now, what is this potholes? Potholes, like suppose if this is a river bed, on this river bed, down the rocks will be cut like this. So there will be whole kind of structure. This kettle kind of structure will be created here. Now these are one of the most dangerous structure which are formed inside the river. Why they are dangerous? Suppose if some boat is floating on this, okay, and that stick is there to row that boat. Suppose if it get inside this pothole, it will be not able to come out, or it may get stuck in this. So these potholes, sometimes they turn it turtle. The boat will be turned turtle. So that these are the structure. This is potholes, and these are the things which are generally related to this kind of accident which happens inside the river. So these are nothing but a whole kind of structure, a pothole kind of structure which will be inside the river, and these they will be not visible from the top of the river. You cannot see them with the eyes, but they will be inside this bed of the river. So this is what your potholes. The last one, write down. River terraces. the narrow step-like flat surface, the narrow step-like flat surface on either side of the valley, valley floor are called as river terraces. Okay, done. So suppose if this is the river flowing, so both the side of this river you will find that mud material will be there, right? The mud will be there here, and it will be having some pattern over there. Okay, some patterns will be drawn. Now sometimes the river will be broad, sometimes it will be narrow. So this pattern which is near to this river bed, it is called as the flat land which you will find on the both the side of the river. That is called as river terraces. Understood? So these are some features. These are the erosional features of the river. Now you have something called as depositional features of the river. Okay, depositional features of the river. Okay, energy is there. Okay, so we'll finish the river portion, then remaining we will do tomorrow, right? Fine. So now erosional you understood. There will be some erosional material will be eroded by the earth, and these are the some features through which this erosion will happen. Now depositional. Now write down in depositional. First is alluvial fan. Alluvial fan. Alluvial fan. Okay. So you can see this Chinese fan, right? So here you have to just write down something about this. They are found at the foot of arid or semi-arid mountain ranges. Arid or semi-arid mountain ranges. Okay, mountain ranges. It is a fan-shaped deposit of gravel. It is a fan-shaped deposit of gravel, sand, and other sediments. Next one, peneplains. It represents low featureless plains having undulating surface, undulating, undulating, undulating surface, and remnants of convex concave residual hills. Convex concave residual hills. Okay, so peneplains are plains which will be on the side of this river bed. Sometimes it will be when the waves of the river they'll be coming, they'll be creating these plains. Sometimes those who have seen the rivers, generally it happens in the northern river where you have a alluvial soil. So it will be creating concave and convex kind of structure. So it will be depositing some soil, then sometimes it will be eroding that soil. So that is peneplain is. Next one, meander. It is a curve or bend. And it is a result of both erosional and depositional feature. It is result of both erosional and depositional feature. Next, oxboleite. Write down. It is a freestanding body. Of water formed when meander is cut off from the main river. Next, leaves, leaves, leaves. Write down. Raised bed and bank of the river. Raised bed and bank of the river due to frequent flooding. Next, floodplain. It is a flat area of land. Floodplain. It is a flat area of land adjacent to a river. And it experience flooding. During the high discharge of river. Next one, estuary. 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 It is tidal inlet of the sea. It is flowing into it. An example, write down. Narmada estuary. Estuary is a topic. That estuary you are writing, right? Next one, delta. It is found in old stage of a river. It is a landform made up of alluvial deposition in the mouth of the river. Example, Ganga Brahmaputra is the largest delta in the world. Inside delta, just write down the types of delta. Okay, I'm just telling you the name, but you can search it, whatever the method you are using. You can search what are these types of deltas. Okay, because maybe there will be a question in the types of the delta. Okay, so write down. First one, in the types of delta, first one, arcuate delta ARCUAT, arcuate delta. Then you have estuarine delta, ESTUARINE, estuarine delta. Next, bird's foot delta, bird's foot delta. Then you have lacustrine delta, LACUSTRINE. Then you have truncated delta, truncated delta. Then you have abundant delta, abundant delta. Then you have cuspate delta, cuspate delta. Okay, so that is what it is. And where you have written these words, just write down about the rivers also, like which all rivers are having this kind of deltas. Examples. In front of that, you just write down. I am telling you the river name. You have written line wise, right?
No.
Right? ऐसे line wise लिखा है एक side में you have written one side. So in front of that, write down the first one. Arcuate delta. Example is Nile River. Nile River. Where is Nile River? The oldest, right? Nile River and Ganga Delta. And Ganga Delta. Then second one, estuarine delta. Write down Seine River. SEINE. Seine River. In bracket you write down France. We will do these rivers when we will do the map work. That time I'll make you to locate these rivers in the map, in the world map. But write down, you just right now you just write down this. Okay, Seine River. Then in bird's foot delta, write down Mississippi. Where is Mississippi River? Mississippi. Acha, write down MISSI. It's like puzzle. PPI. MISSI Mississippi. Okay. Mississippi, it is in USA. Then lacustrine delta you have whatever you pronounce, Lena River. It is in Ireland. Okay, truncated delta, I don't have example here. Abundant delta, write down Yellow River. Abundant delta, write down Yellow River. Where is Yellow River? Easy ones. Yellow River. China, correct. Okay, Yellow River and Hooghly River. And the last one, Tiber River. Tiber, Tiber River. It is in Italy. Done?
Oxbow Lake का example.
Oxbow Lake का example. Oxbow Lake का example देखो, I'll tell you this. अभी मेरे पास नहीं है. I'll just check and I'll tell you. Okay. Fine. So you understood this everything, this meander and all, right? Any doubt here? Oxbow Lake, meander, and all those things, right? So then these delta. Here 2-3 pictures I have, this Cuspid delta, Birchwood delta, Arcuate delta, but other deltas you can just search it and you will get it. Okay, so that is what it is. And then you have this river journey, how it is formed, and in detail in detail we will do the mapping, world mapping. There I will tell you the important rivers of the world, like you have Orange River, Murray River, all those in different continents we will take, and that particular continent, that particular country, we will take the important rivers. Okay, fine. So this is what about the river depositional and erosional. Now 3 more are remaining: wind, erosion, glacier, and all those things that we will do tomorrow. Fine. Chalega? Fine. But you have to revise it. And one more thing you can do. You have written depositional and erosional feature, right? Anyhow, you will be going from here and using mobile phone. So you just type those words and you will try to find out. When you will see the picture, it will be there in your mind. Understood? Like pothole. What is pothole? Right? So type in Google, you will get some pictures. So when you will get some pictures, when you see those pictures, you will understand. Already some pictures I have shown you here, but from your side also you have to revise it. If you are simply keeping in your notebook, then aram se gently. Okay? Fine? Sure.
Everybody say,